In the remote Nepalese Himalayas, sheer cliffs meet the clouds. Here, Gurung honey hunters risk everything, descending dizzying heights on rope ladders to harvest legendary golden honey from giant Himalayan bees. Their quest is ancient, perilous, and sacred, a dance with nature on the edge of the abyss. This glistening amber nectar is known as mad honey. It is a name earned through its profound and often frightening effects on the human mind and body. It is not merely a sweetener for tea or a simple foodstuff. It is madness, sealed in a deceptive sweetness. A single spoonful is enough to begin the strange journey, to feel the familiar edges of reality start to warp and dissolve. The experience is said to be a bridge to another world, a gateway to visions of ghosts, gods, and forgotten ancestors, where time itself seems to bend and stretch into unfamiliar shapes. It is a hallucinogen, a medicine, and a poison, all in one. This is more than just a local custom. It is a living relic of the ancient world. This very substance, gathered with such peril from the cliffs of Nepal, once brought down entire Roman legions. Historical accounts tell of how Pompey's soldiers were undone not by the sword, but by honeycombs deliberately left in their path by their enemies. The unsuspecting troops ate the sweet offering and fell into a state of delirium and paralysis, becoming easy prey. The honey's power is timeless, a force of nature that has long been harnessed for rituals, healing, and even warfare. Its secrets guarded closely by the Gurung people. The annual harvest is a testament to human endurance and a deep connection to the wild. The villagers of the remote valleys risk their lives to gather this potent brew from nature's most inaccessible larders. The tradition is steeped in ceremony and respect, for they believe the bees are sacred spirits and the cliffs are their hallowed domain. They understand the dual nature of what they collect, its capacity to heal and its power to induce terrifying hallucinations. It is a fine line they walk, between spiritual enlightenment and physical collapse, between a folk remedy and a potent neurotoxin. But in a world that is rapidly changing, one must ask why this ancient and perilous ritual still survives. What deep-seated belief or powerful incentive drives these men to dangle over a deadly abyss for a taste of this psychoactive nectar? What exactly are they consuming? And what does it unlock within the human consciousness that makes it worth risking everything? The honey holds the answers, but its secrets are not given up easily. They are earned through courage, paid for in sweat, and whispered only to those who dare to taste the madness from the edge of the world. The story of mad honey is not written in books, but etched into the very stone of the Himalayas. In a hidden cave, a 7,000-year-old painting shows a daring figure suspended from a rope, surrounded by bees. Today, honey hunters repeat this ancient ritual, living custodians of a Stone Age legacy. In the misty Himalayan cliffs, the Apis laboriosa, the world's largest honeybee, builds massive hives high above the valley. To the Gurung people, these bees are sacred spirits, guardians of the mountains. Harvesting their honey is a spiritual ritual, a delicate balance of respect, courage, and tradition passed down through generations. The secret to the honey's madness lies not with the bees themselves, but in their choice of sustenance. In the spring, as the snows retreat from the high mountain slopes, the hillsides erupt in a blaze of color. This is the blooming season of the rhododendrons. But these are not the gentle, ornamental shrubs of manicured gardens. The wild rhododendrons of the Himalayas, particularly species like and are infused with a potent natural poison. Their vibrant, beautiful flowers, blazing reds, pinks and whites that look like fire on the cliffside, produce a nectar rich in a specific group of neurotoxins known as grayanotoxins. When the giant Himalayan honeybees forage among these blossoms, they collect this toxic nectar and carry it back to their hives. Through the mysterious alchemy of the hive, the nectar is transformed into honey, but the grayanotoxins remain locked within its sweet, viscous structure. The result is a substance that is chemically unique, a natural psychedelic brew created by the interplay of flower, bee, and mountain. The concentration of these toxins can vary dramatically depending on the season, the specific location of the hive, and the particular rhododendron species that are in bloom, making each batch of mad honey a potent and unpredictable elixir. Grayanotoxins are powerful compounds that have a dramatic effect on the vertebrate nervous system. They work by binding to sodium ion channels in cell membranes, disrupting the normal flow of electrical signals that govern everything from muscle contraction to nerve impulses. In small doses, this disruption can lead to a sensation of tingling, dizziness, and a feeling of lightheadedness. As the dose increases, the effects become far more profound, leading to powerful hallucinations, a dangerous drop in blood pressure and heart rate, and in some cases, temporary paralysis or even death. It is this chemical potency that gives the honey its dual identity as both a revered medicine and a feared poison. For the Gurung hunters, this knowledge is second nature. They understand the cycle of the flowers and the bees as intimately as they know the paths up the mountains. They can identify the seasons when the honey will be at its most potent and most dangerous. This intimate ecological wisdom is crucial for their survival and for the continuation of their tradition. They know that the very flowers that give the mountains their stunning beauty are also the source of the madness they seek. It is a perfect paradoxical expression of the Himalayan environment, a place where breathtaking beauty and mortal danger are inextricably intertwined. The Gurung, an indigenous people of the Annapurna foothills, are keepers of ancient honey hunting traditions. Passed down from elders to youth, this sacred rite connects them to their ancestors and the land. In a world where traditions vanish, the Gurung honey hunters stand as a testament to the resilience of cultural heritage. The honey harvest is a solemn ritual, beginning in the village with prayers and offerings to the mountain gods. Hunters, spanning generations, trek through dense forests to the cliffs, carrying handmade ladders and tools. The master descends barefoot, steady and calm, as his team supports him from above and below. Together, they perform a breathtaking ballet on the cliff, suspended between earth and sky. For centuries, mad honey was a powerful Himalayan medicine, used for pain, blood pressure, and even fertility. But its healing comes with risk. The line between cure and poison is razor thin. Each drop is a gamble, its potency shifting with every hive and season. Is it a gift of nature or a perilous relic? The psychoactive properties of mad honey weren't just used for healing or spiritual quests. They were also weaponized with terrifying effectiveness in the ancient world. The most famous account of its use as a weapon comes from Roman history during the Mithridatic Wars in the 1st century BC. In 67 BC, the Roman general Pompey the Great was leading his legions through the Pontus region, in what is now modern-day Turkey, a place also known for its toxic rhododendrons. The soldiers of King Mithridates VI, knowing they were outnumbered, devised a cunning and insidious trap, using the region's natural resources as a biological weapon. The Pontic forces, familiar with the potent effects of the local honey, gathered large quantities of it, and strategically placed open honeycombs along the path they knew the Roman soldiers would take. The unsuspecting legionaries, exhausted from their march, discovered the sweet offering and consumed it greedily. The effects were swift and devastating. The Roman historian Strabo described how the soldiers were overcome by a severe delirium. They were left incapacitated, purged, and completely disoriented, collapsing where they stood. They were rendered utterly defenseless, not by a sword, but by a simple, deceptive taste of sweetness. Once the honey had taken its full effect, the army of Mithridates emerged from hiding and fell upon the helpless Romans. An entire contingent of Pompey's army was slaughtered with ease, their strength and discipline undone by the powerful grayanotoxins. And this wasn't an isolated incident. Xenophon of Athens, in his Anabasis, described a similar event centuries earlier, in 401 BC, when his Greek soldiers, the 10,000, feasted on honey in the same region and suffered mass poisoning, becoming, as he put it, like madmen. These historical accounts show that the knowledge of mad honey's debilitating power was widespread and expertly used in military strategy. This history casts a dark shadow over the golden liquid. It's a stark reminder that any substance capable of altering the mind can also be used to control or destroy it. The same honey that offered visions of the gods to a Gurung shaman could be used to deliver an enemy army to its doom. It highlights the profound ethical ambiguity that has always surrounded psychoactive substances. The line between a sacrament and a weapon, much like the line between medicine and poison, isn't in the substance itself, but in the intention of the person who wields it. The cliffs of Nepal guard a power that has been used for both profound good and terrible evil. The honey hunters of Nepal face a perilous climb, scaling sheer cliffs with only hand-woven bamboo ladders, often barefoot and with little protection. Every ascent is a battle against gravity, the elements, and swarming giant bees. For some, the mountain's reward comes at the ultimate price. Is the tradition worth the risk? Mad honey, once sacred and local, now fetches high prices worldwide. Hunters risk their lives, but most profits go to distant middlemen. The ancient tradition faces disruption as younger generations turn away from danger and hardship. The chain of knowledge passed for centuries is threatened by the demands of modern commerce. For centuries, mad honey's visions were myth, attributed to spirits or gods. Now, science reveals the secret. Grayanotoxins from rhododendron nectar disrupt our nervous system, causing tingling, numbness, and hallucinations. The honey's power bridges ancient wisdom and modern science, unlocking the mysterious corridors of human consciousness. Once a secret of Himalayan valleys, mad honey now captivates the world. Marketed online as ancient wisdom, a luxury and a legal high. Prices soar, but quality is unregulated, risking dangerous overdoses. Meanwhile, the honey hunters, who risk everything, see little reward as global demand transforms their sacred ritual into a commodity. The story of the Gurung honey hunters has captivated filmmakers and photographers worldwide, turning a sacred tradition into a global spectacle. Their daring feats, once private rituals, are now performed before cameras, sometimes at the cost of authenticity and safety. The outsider's gaze brings recognition, but also risks reducing a living culture to a marketable image. The Gurung now face the challenge of sharing their story without losing its soul. For millennia, honey hunters lived in balance with nature. Now, rising demand and climate change threaten this harmony. Overharvesting, shrinking forests, and shifting seasons endanger the giant honeybee and the ancient practice itself. The hunters face a painful choice: preserve their tradition or protect the bees they revere. The Gurung honey hunter's legacy teeters on the edge, threatened by modern pressures, fading interest, and ecological decline. The ancient knowledge, once passed from father to son, is now at risk of vanishing as fewer young people choose the perilous path of the hunt. The allure of city life and safer jobs outweighs the dangers and meager rewards of the cliffs. As master hunters age, their wisdom, how to weave ladders, read the weather, and appease spirits, faces extinction. Each untrained apprentice means a library of tradition lost forever. The future of mad honey hangs in the balance. Can it adapt, or will it become just a memory, preserved in stories and photographs? The last guardians now fight not just the cliffs, but time itself, standing at the edge of a vanishing world. Beneath the Himalayan stars, an elder offers a spoonful of mad honey, dark, viscous, and mysterious. The taste is bitter, earthy, ancient. It clings to the tongue and lingers in the mind. At first, nothing. Then, a wave of heat, followed by a chilling cold and a dull ache behind the eyes. The world blurs, firelight warps, and the ground feels unsteady. There's no antidote, only surrender and patience as the honey's madness takes hold. The hunter's knowing glances say it all. This is a rite of passage, not just a taste. I close my eyes, letting the sensations rise, crossing the threshold from observer to participant. The true journey is just beginning. Silence deepens, and the world recedes. Within, visions bloom, mandalas of shifting color and light. I soar through memories, seeing my life as a tapestry, each moment woven with clarity and compassion. The honey dissolves boundaries, connecting me to the mountains, the bees, the ancient earth. Time vanishes. I become part of the living soul of this place. Luminous presences emerge, ancestors, spirits, or perhaps reflections of my own mind, offering peace and belonging. The madness reveals a sacred order, a glimpse of life's interconnected web. Here, the veil between worlds is thin, and the tradition's true power is revealed. In this state, I understand, the ritual is not chaos, but communion. As the visions fade, a profound stillness remains, clarity, peace, and a world transformed. The honey has stripped away my filters, revealing the world's raw beauty and intensity. Why risk so much for this ritual? It's more than intoxication or tradition. The honey is a key, a shortcut to transcendence, a way to dissolve the self and touch the sacred. For the Gurung, this connection is not luxury, but necessity. A reaffirmation of their place in the cosmos. The ritual endures because it answers timeless questions and fulfills a deep human need for meaning. In facing the abyss, the Gurung find not escape, but a fuller experience of reality. Dawn breaks, and the world feels new. The honey's effects fade, but its questions linger. Is mad honey a divine gift or a test from the abyss? It heals, connects, and reveals, but it also demands courage, skill, and spirit. Every harvest is a trial, cliffs, bees, and the honey's own madness. The Gurung know the honey is both blessing and danger, a gift only earned by passing the test. Its value lies in the risks taken, the reverence born from its dual nature. Here, beauty and peril are inseparable. every gift from the mountains comes with a challenge. The tradition endures because it mirrors life itself, sublime, dangerous, and deeply sacred. As the sun climbs higher, the hunters are ready. The lead hunter gives a slight nod. The long rope ladder unfurls down the cliff face. The smoke from the incense begins its slow ascent. There is a quiet determination in the air. The questions of the modern world dissolve in the mist. The hunter begins his climb. He is an embodiment of thousands of years of courage. From the misty cliffs of Nepal, madness takes flight once more. It is a madness that has healed the sick and opened gateways to other worlds. It is a madness that has been worshipped as sacred and feared as a poison. It is the enduring madness of humanity's quest for something more. The future of this tradition remains uncertain. The pressures of the outside world are immense. The chain of knowledge may yet break, but for now it holds. The dance between man and bee continues. The honey hunters climb because it is who they are. Their identity is written on these rocks. And as I watch them, I understand that the world needs this madness. We need these reminders that there are still mysteries left to explore. The mad honey of Nepal is a symbol of the wildness within us, and its echo will linger long after the last hunter has returned from the edge of the world.